Hey, this is Pastor Mike, and this is Perkstream for March 22nd, 2023. Do you ever ask why? Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope that you're encouraged by this series of steps to the cross as we look at some of the things that happen on the way to the cross for Jesus. And hey, thanks for joining me for Perkstream today. And I want to have us explore this question of why we ask why. Um, Why is one of our eternal questions. It's something that we don't seem to be able to get away with or get away from. We always want a reason. We crave answers. We want to understand things like, why was I born into this family? Or why is it that innocent people seem to suffer? Why was that loved one taken from us so soon? We ask why, hoping that maybe the mysteries of life will be less mysterious. Why did God create people that he knew would choose against him? Why do innocent people suffer while bad people seem to get away with things? That's a question I would like to have answered. Dietrich Bonhoeffer was a German theologian in World War II who was imprisoned because he was suspected of plotting to assassinate Adolf Hitler. And while he was in prison, he did a lot of theological thinking, and one of his thoughts was simply, we need to learn to ask the who question, because the why question will drive us crazy, but the who question always leads us to Jesus. But my exploration of some of these themes from Michael Card, he's willing to play with the why question a bit. He understands that sometimes we need to at least wrestle with the question of why. He wrote a song called Why, where he has three questions that he asks about the crucifixion, because the crucifixion is just one of those things that just leaves you scratching your head. He had hoped to find a connecting answer between his three questions, like, why did it have to be a kiss that betrayed the Lord? Why a crown of thorns and why a cross? And is there a connection between the three? Well, as a singer songwriter, he's always looking for that one connecting element, and it never came to him until one time in the middle of the night, he got up and he really sensed that the Lord was speaking to him. And it was like, well, here's the answer to the first question. Here's the answer to the second. And here's the answer to your third why question. And those answers were, well, why a friend that was chosen to betray the Lord? Why that and not an enemy? Well, an enemy has nothing to gain, and only a friend can get close enough to cause the kind of pain that Jesus experienced. And why a crown of thorns? Well, because in this world, only a crown of thorns is really the only gift that a world like ours has to give to someone who loves like Jesus loves. And why was it a cross? Well, thieves die on a cross, and Jesus had come into the world to steal away the hearts of all of those who would trust him from the one who had enslaved us. And Jesus had to pay. Those are the whys and those are the answers. But as Michael puts it, asking why is about pessimism and doubt. And it's okay to have those and express those. We need to get that, if you will, up and out of our souls, because those whys should then lead us to the who. And the who is the one that we put our trust in, and that is Jesus. The answers have a wonderful way of whispering to us and leading us back to Jesus. So Bonhoeffer was right that we ultimately need to come to the who. And if we come to the who through the why, if we come to Jesus through some of our pessimism and doubt, and that's not a bad road. In fact, many people travel that road. We must start with why sometimes, but then when we hear the answers, it leads us to Jesus. Well, as a human being, I'm not wise enough to answer a lot of the why questions that get posed to me. In fact, I'm probably become smart enough to know that I'm not wise enough. And so I don't try to answer every why question that's posed to me. And not every why question is actually a true question. Sometimes the why question is a pushback. It's actually a rejection of any answer posed in the form of a question because somebody has already determined I'm going to not accept your answer anyway. So there's really nothing you can say. Jesus asks us to look at his suffering and know that every step has an eternal significance, even if every step cannot be understood. We may not ever get to all the whys, but we need to trust that when Jesus did what he did on the cross, it was all with purpose and all founded and ultimately it finds its meaning in him. So maybe I do have some whys, like why did the religious leaders not see him for who he was? Why did Pontius Pilate not see the jealousy of the Jewish leaders and do something to truly stop this crucifixion? He had the power. And why didn't Jesus say, enough already? Let's just start over. All these questions and many more like them have answers, but I don't know that we can delve them deep enough or that we have the capacity enough to get to the why. Why did Jesus do it? This is as simple an answer as maybe a profound an answer as I can give. Why did Jesus go through all of it? Because that's who Jesus is. That is the distance that love goes to show itself true and to rescue us from ourselves. Jesus did it because that's who he is. He is love. So the path to Easter, the path to victory, the path to glory is through the cross. It cannot be avoided. It can't be gone around. And Jesus knew that. So we have a basic understanding of why. And let's not let that distract us from who, because Jesus is ultimately the answer. And the answer is his love took him there. And I'm so grateful that it did because it means my resurrection. It means my hope. It means my freedom. And it means that for you too. So the next time you have a why question, I just want you to know it's okay. But let the why always lead you to a who. Let the reason always lead you back to Jesus, who is able to hold all of our whys in his heart and hold us in his hands. And just know that he has our best in mind. And because of his love, he has done everything he can to settle all of the past, all of the present, all of the future, and give us life forever. I hope that you have a great day. I hope that you're encouraged today. Whether or not you're asking the why questions, always come back to the who of Jesus.